Hey guys, it's Cool Corman 10, and I will be going through my 1 month montage. This is inspired by Jessica Cool and many others that have done this, and I hope to grow my channel because of this. So, I will start off showing you my old console clips. I used to be pretty trash. My aim was kind of my saving grace, but of course it's partially because of aim assist. I played on controller for about 4 years, just different games in Fortnite since the beginning, really, season 2. And so basically I started out on controller, and then obviously just about a month from now I started playing keyboard and mouse. So these are a few of my controller clips, and in these few clips I really am pretty trash and I don't hit much shots. So enjoy these, I guess, even though there's really not much to enjoy about my skill, but it just shows you how much of an improvement I'll make from even just my console that I've been playing on for 4 years to keyboard and mouse in just 1 month. So I'm playing against the same person, a kid from my school, and this all the time. So it's kind of a good reference point. He's on keyboard and mouse too, so it's not like he has aim assist or anything. So it's kind of as fair of I guess challenge as we're gonna get. I still cannot beat him to this day, but I am definitely getting a lot better. So we're on to week 1 now. This is where I started out. I have a few clips of me doing 90s for like 15 minutes before, but that's not really interesting. This is kind of my very beginning. Didn't really know how to place cones. I've switched up a lot of keybinds, but in the end I'm pretty happy with what they are now. So I just try to get a good peak shot, and somehow I hit a shot. It's just luck, but my aim has increased a lot, but it's still nowhere near what it should be at this point. Now we're into 10 days in, because the first week it's a struggle. I'm not going to tell you it's not. I improved a lot, like slower than a lot of people, but you know, it all just kind of depends. After 1 month, if you improve less than somebody else, it doesn't mean after 9 months you'll be in the same pace. You know, you could struggle more at the beginning, but once you find something that does help, you know, you can catch up a lot quicker, I guess you could say. And so 10 days in, I've gotten a good amount better. I can build now, edit somewhat. My aim is still pretty trash, as it will be for like the first at least 3 weeks. I grinded just building in creative and edit courses mostly. But so here you can see also my internet is a culprit. I've just pretty much fixed it, but there still is sometimes where I hit a lag spike of 150 or 200 ping for like a second or two, and it kind of just messes me up. But my internet's a lot better than it used to be now, so that's a good thing too. I am also getting a PC. I think you guys probably know that if you've been watching me or following my Instagram. So I will be getting a PC. Actually, I do have a PC, but I'm building it right now, and I'm struggling to build it. So hopefully it should be, Fortnite should be downloaded, and everything should be set up within the next week and a half or 2 weeks from releasing this video. So now we're on to week 2. I improved a lot over this week, but I think my main improvement was in the difference between week 2 to week 4, specifically between week 2 and week 3. So at this point, I was still decent, but I wasn't super familiar with my binds yet. You know, you can crank 90s, and you can practice edits for 30 minutes a day and be really good doing that, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to translate at all over. So like and here in this clip, I just mess up my 90s, and then he gets the thing. So 17 days, this is a big improvement. So just the 3 days of extra grinding got me way more familiar with my binds, but this is the first time I've ever killed him in a game, but I still have a lot of work to do. So I got a lot more comfortable, but for the first 3 or 4 weeks even, just until a little bit ago, whenever I just panicked, I just ran around in circles and jumped. That's kind of the thing, is you think it's going to be a lot easier than it really is, because you're like, you used to panic build, you know, back in the old days, but then you think that's never going to happen because, you know, you're used to Fortnite. Well, you panic a lot because you don't really know what buttons to place, and so that's what I found was it's not really your knowledge of it, it's just switching to a new thing that's really messing it up. So This is my first real like in-game where I've played a lot of in-game, but they're all against bots, and so this is the first time where I ran into a few players that are somewhat competent, though this guy and me both made a stupid decision. Since I had the attack, it kind of came out on top. Kind of a lucky decision, maybe a little bit stupid right there. My game sense is also surprisingly, but not surprising, I guess you could say, increased on keyboard and mouse. Because I'm used to playing on controller, but now that my building and editing abilities and just everything in general have increased, besides my aim, it's kind of a good practice because I am able to be put in different situations where maybe I need to go for high instead of staying low ground to try to get a box fight where I would have on console because I can trust my aim, whereas this I might want high ground so I can get those easy peek shots and stuff like that I wouldn't have been able to get on console because I didn't have superior building and editing a lot of times to my opponents. So this is kind of a fast forward thing. Nothing really cool happens here. I'm just showing you how I die. This is another thing is I just, even now a little bit, I struggle to move, and so like, right here he snipes at me, but then I make a stupid decision, I pop back out again, and then what do? I literally just stand there for like 5 seconds trying to look for him, and he snipes me in the head. So, I really need to work on moving, like left to right, up and down, crouching, not crouching, just like when I'm peeking and stuff, because, you know, it's kind of a big deal. If you're getting sniped all the time just because you're standing still, that's a big and yet easy problem to fix if you practice it. So here my 90s really started to get a lot better. My edits too, but I mean it's not really impressive like I said earlier because, you know, it's just you can't put it in a real game just by doing an edit course and stuff. So Week 3 was good for me, but the improvement from week 2 to 3 was a lot in week 3 to 4. Because at the beginning of week 3, I was a lot better than week 2, but I hadn't really gone anywhere for like the last couple days. I wouldn't say the difference between the last 4 days from 17 days in to 21 days in was a big difference. But, you know, you kind of just have those days where you gain a lot and then you have those days where you just really, you can crank 90s for an hour and you can play pubs for 2 hours and aim trainers, but sometimes you're just not going to get better that day. It might be because of your mindset, and I might be releasing a tips and tricks video just because after a console and keyboard and mouse, you can really see all the kind of different ideas there are for both, I guess, because if you give tips on keyboard and mouse, but you think they might cross over to controller, you can't really know that. So I think playing keyboard and mouse and console has kind of given me an insight to those things. So here we are, we're at week 4. I've come a long ways, and so I've improved a lot even since this. It's been about a week since these things were filmed, but as you can see, my 90s are like 10 times better. I started using the floor and then jumping, gave me a lot more momentum. I can start to beat that guy that I was playing earlier with in those clips. I can start to beat him in my 90s in building now, which is really cool because he's played for like 7 to 9 months. So here I'm just practice editing. I'm just showing you guys kind of all aspects of my game, so you guys can see my building and editing have gone a lot better, but so is my aim, and this next clip after my edit course and stuff will show you that. I'm super glad they added Zone Wars back because if you're watching this right now and Zone Wars are in, there's a lot of different things you can do to that. You can work on staying till endgame and practicing that, or you can work on, like rushing everybody and just trying to go super aggressive. If you're trying to go for a lot of kills, you can kind of challenge yourself in multiple different ways. So in this part of this clip you just saw right here, my floor ramp wall double side are really weak for being on keyboard and mouse, so I was never able to do much better on controller, but I should be able to on keyboard and mouse. And also I need to work on just editing a little bit faster, as you can see on these, because I'm editing and then I missed the second one because I turned on edit, confirm on release for edit, which I think is really helpful. I just need to work on taking my finger off the mouse button a little bit faster. So, every person has their weaknesses. Mine is kind of just, I'd say the quickness in my abilities. My editing is a little bit slower. Well, it's pretty consistent typically. On some of these clips, it doesn't really show that. But So yeah, everybody kind of has their own strengths and weaknesses. I'd say my aim is all right. My editing, I'd say, is really decent, and I'd say my building, it just depends on the day. I'd say typically it's really good, but there's always some of those days, and it always could improve. I'm definitely not anywhere on the level where all my friends are at right now. So, the 1 month progression is probably the hardest out of all of them because you're just starting, you don't know what to do. But I'm excited for what's to come in the future for my channel and my Fortnite abilities, I guess. So as the last few parts of this clip wind down, I've gotten really good at these, just practicing and practicing these. Hopefully I won't have to do this too many times in games, but it's good practice for fast and consistent edits. So after this, I'll have one more clip of doing Zone Wars, which I'll mostly won't talk much about, except for just what I'm thinking through these scenarios. And I'll probably make an in-depth video on in-game analysis of myself and other people, because that's one of the things I don't ever do, which I've heard from multiple people, and when I do it, it does help a lot, is watching my videos or my games and stuff, or other people's, to learn what I did wrong, what I did right, and how to improve. And so the improving part is mostly just about watching other people, like Tfue. If you want to watch your streamer, your favorite streamer, it's good at the game or something, that's probably the best way to learn what's the better thing. So like there, when I rotate my ramp, or I don't rotate my ramp, instead I make a half ramp, that was something. Now if you watch like pro guides, for example, they help with tips and tricks stuff, or if you watch like your favorite streamer, they'll rotate it across, and so that'll just be, if you practice it a lot in creative, then it'll just be muscle memory. You don't have to think about it, and all of a sudden I won't have taken near as much damage as I did right there. So I dropped down, and my aim still needs a lot of work, because it's mostly just, I like to take flick shots, and it's a lot easier on keyboard and mouse than it is on console, just because you like to move your mouse around to your target. But then if you just consistently keep it on your target as best as you can, you're going to hit a lot more shots. So I'll just let it play out. But my aim is still in progression, obviously, and it's a lot harder on keyboard and mouse to learn. But once you get the core aspects of aiming down, it's a lot easier. But so when you start out, it's a lot harder. But you always got to tell yourself, no matter what you do, it's kind of a lesson for life as much as it is for Fortnite or any game you're playing. The more you try and the more you practice, you're going to succeed. But when you don't succeed, it's not a signal that you're supposed to give up. It's a signal that you're working on it, and that's a good thing. In most aspects of life, if you're working on something, whether you're good at it or whether you're trying to get good at it, or whether you're never going to get good at it, but it's just for fun or a hobby or something, it's always good to practice it. Creates a good work ethic. Most of all, and it gets you ready for the real life when you get older, or if you are older. It just gives you something to look forward to. Going into maps and just trying to work on your best or your weakest things. So yeah, this is all. Like I said, hopefully I'll be creating more high quality content soon. But for now, that's going to be it, guys. Thank you so much for subscribing and liking these videos. I think I'm super close to 100 views on one of my videos, and I just hit over 50 on my second video ever to do that. So truly, thank you so much for everything that you've given me, and as a creator, thank you for supporting me. And that'll be it. So thank you guys so much for all the love and support, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.